Hello, this is Amanda for Fairy Stamper, and today I'm going to show you how to do the Faux Patina Technique. This would be great for masculine cards, but apparently I don't seem to have a very big masculine stamp collection for the Fairy Hugs stamps, so I'm not going to make a masculine card today. But if you have masculine stamps in your Fairy Hugs collection, it would be great for masculine cards. So I'm starting off with a piece of craft cardstock and I'm taping it to the back of this stencil, and you can use any stencil. And I'm going to blend some Distress Oxides through it, and you can choose a wide variety of colors for this. If you Google copper patina and click on the images section of Google, it will show you all kinds of different colors that copper will patina into. It's usually blues or greens, but there are several other colors, or a few other colors that copper will patina into. But I chose mine to be kind of more of the blue-green effect. I'm doing salvage patina, peacock feathers, and pine needles here. And I'm going to blend them through the stencil. And they don't have to be the Distress Oxides, but because I'm doing it on craft cardstock, they're going to show up more true to color if you use the Distress Oxides, whereas Distress ink is a dye ink, which is more transparent, and they're not going to show up very true to color if you're going to do this on craft cardstock. So I've got 3 colors blended here, and then I'm just going to go back through all the colors just to make sure that I've got a nice good blend through my stencil. Alright, I think we're just about done here, and then I'm going to remove my stencil and show you what I've got. Also, the reason why I chose Oxides is because the pigment property is going to allow this embossing powder that I'm going to use here to stick without me having to use any Versamark, as long as we work somewhat quickly. It does take several minutes for Oxides to dry, especially in the climate that I live in. So this way I don't have to use Versamark. So I'm just going to sprinkle this on. I don't want to cover the whole thing because patina doesn't all happen at once. So I just wanted to sprinkle some of this copper embossing powder in a few different areas. And here is how it looks after I have heat set it. And I think it turned out really well. So I wanted to add this fairy, and this is Angela, but I didn't feel like doing any coloring or really anything that I usually do to the fairy's wings or anything. So I thought, instead of paper piecing her, because her body is solid, I would just go ahead and stamp her on this Fairyscapes. And this is the Fairy Wings Fairyscapes, and I will have it linked in the description box below if you're interested in checking it out. So I just thought I would just stamp her directly on here. And then I thought I'd just cut her out with my scanning cut, but that didn't work so well because the background is so very dark. The scanning cut wasn't picking her up, so I had to fussy cut her, which isn't really my favorite thing to do, but I did it. I got her all fussy cut. I took a black marker to the edges of the white core paper, and now she looks pretty good. So I did want to kind of bend up the wings and make her look more dimensional. And in order to keep the wings so they look more dimensional, I'm just putting some foam squares behind her wings, and then I'm going to glue her body straight to the card. Of course, somebody called me in the middle of this. How dare them call me while I'm crafting? And I had to stop there for a second and take that call. All right, so we're just going to glue her body flat to the card. And I didn't want to cover up a ton of this background because I thought it turned out really cool. So I'm just going to stick the fairy off to one side, and then I'm going to stick a medium-sized sentiment towards the top. And that's all I really did to this card because I really wanted the background, the faux patina look, to shine on this card. That, to me, was really the star of the show. And I did find some paper that kind of matched the silver patina you see on the left hand side of my screen there, and that's what I'm going to mat this card front on and put my sentiment on it. So I've got a small sentiment strip here, and I'm going to stamp a birthday wish for you, and this is the birthday wishes stamp from Fairy Hugs. And then I'm going to heat emboss that with that same copper embossing powder that I used in the background. So everything is all matchy-matchy. So I'm going to hang this off the side of the card and cut off the excess. That way there is as little as possible of this background covered up. And here in a second, you will see that when I cut off the excess here, I did not get my sentiment fully adhered on the edge here. So I'm going to do a trick that I've shown in many of my videos, where I'm going to take this excess piece of paper, put a little bit of glue on it, slip it under the edge there, and then adhere that down nice and flat to my card. So I matted this on a white card base. And that finishes up my card for today. The links for all the products I used will be in the description box below. The links for my social media and the links for the Fairy Stamper social media will be in the description box below. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to both of our channels. And as always, have a great day.